This is the Independent Talk here on Power 106 FM. I'm Althea McKenzie. My guest at this time, Colin O. Jarrett, the newly installed President and Chief Executive Officer of Health, Education and Counseling Institute, HECOIN, and he is telling us about a new degree program that is coming on stream. Tell me a little bit about Dr. Clover Jarrett, because I think she would have prepared you well for this new position.
Indeed. A registered nurse, registered midwife, public health nurse, educator, administrator, counseling psychologist. She grew us up very well. And one thing I can say about Mommy is that once she sees clearance, she will give you all the support, more or less putting you in the sea to swim. And if she sees you about to drown, then she dives in to help you. And so continuing her legacy at HECOIN is not very difficult for me, because I know in the 5-6 years that I worked with her as Vice President, I know her thinking. So I know exactly what she would say, yes or no on. So I thank God for her support in my time. And when I was at university, interestingly, Althea, I employed her as the project director of a nursing program that I was in charge of. So I was her boss. And then when I came into HECOIN, she became my boss.
Now, you mentioned that you're Vice President. You're very well prepared for this position because you're actually Vice President of Administration, Finance, and International Marketing. All three very important components in the setup there at HECOIN.
Indeed. And so when I came in, it was really succession planning. And so those three areas in management were specifically assigned to me so that both my parents could see me in action, so that they know when the handing over comes, they know exactly the type of person and the type of administrative skills that I would have.
No, of course, we want to turn our attention to the organization and the fact that you have, in fact, now coming on degree programs. How did that come about, and what are people going to be getting degrees in?
Interestingly, one day after Mommy died, the contract came in from London School of Marketing. So it shows that even when she's not with us, things are going well. Mm-hmm. So what this means is that London School of Marketing, which is a reputable organization across the world, has now partnered with HECOIN as a recognized international business development partner to offer a number of first and second degrees. Courses will cost half the price in half the time.
And of course, one of the things that I know will interest people is the fact that you say that they'll pay about half the money that it would normally cost.
I know that one would hold you. Cost for half of the time.
Yes. Now, this, of course, is very interesting, and in an area, too, where, Mr. Jarrett, there are many people who are interested in going into marketing. So tell us a little bit more about the degree program.
Okay, there will be bachelor's and master's in marketing and innovation. That's one area. Mm-hmm. Another area, business administration. The third area, human resource management. And the fourth area, accounting and finance. And so persons can matriculate with 3 to 5 CXCs, or they can come in through ABE, which is the Association of Business Executives, level 4, or OTHM level 4. And then the first degree would take approximately 18 to 21 months. And then with the master's, it can take 6 to 12 months. But the interesting thing about the master's degree in any of the 4 areas is that both the bachelor's and master's are really home study degrees. So they are home study, online, blended learning, lots of classroom work in terms of group presentations. And persons with 5 years supervisory or management experience can come into the top-up master's degree and complete it in 6 months.
So with all the experience that they're bringing in, because I know that people would wonder how you could possibly complete a master's in 6 months. Mm-hmm. So that is the explanation for that. They would be coming in with the 5 years experience, working in a similar position, but without the paperwork.
Yes, without the paperwork. So therefore, let us say a vice principal of a school or a supervisor at a bank or an inspector of police would be able to bring in the documentation to indicate that you have completed 5 years. Maybe an English test will be required if they don't have English, just to ensure that they can cope with the program. And then they would start the program, completing a 2-year master's in actually 6 months for half of the price of universities in the Caribbean.
Of course, the question that people are going to ask now is, when do you begin? Because already I can hear people saying, oh, this sounds like something that I want to do.
Well, we want to begin in June. We have everything set in June. And we'll be having information sessions in May, right across the island, Kingston, Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, Mandeville, and Port Antonio. And persons can call the 312-1044 hotline number that we have established for this purpose. And we are also on Facebook. But I guess you will ask me those details later on. But we want to begin in June, which is another 6 weeks.
Right. But I think you should go ahead and give us those details because I'm almost out of time.
Okay. So our cohorts begin really in June, but they are January, March, June, September, and November. Our website is www.hecoin.com or Facebook connection HECOIN-LSM Jamaica. And our hotline number is 312-1044. And the email address is hecoin.lsm@gmail.com. And we have 9 campuses across the island. So we will begin with these programs, and the advantages would be home study for your convenience. So you can study at any time during the day or night. International recognition, excellent online support, excellent tutor support, excellent online library facility, comprehensive online study material, and complete in half the time at half the cost.
And this is, of course, through the UK-based London School of Marketing.
Correct. You really get things really right.
By the way, I think it is important before you leave us to point out that you have a 100% pass in external examinations.
We have always had that, and that's the history that Dr. Jarrett has left with us, and I will have to continue. We really don't have failures once we have students doing external exams. And that's for OTHM, City and Guilds, ABE, and the list goes on. We are associated with 3 internal accrediting bodies in Jamaica, 6 accrediting bodies in UK, 2 out of USA, and 1 out of Canada. So this is not a fly-by-night institution, Althea. 26 years under our belt. And this is the second generation of Jarretts now, continuing the legacy of Clover and Harry Jarrett.
All right. Take care, Mr. Jarrett. All the best and congratulations on the new position.
Thank you so much, Althea.
All right. Colin O, Jarrett, their newly installed President and Chief Executive Officer of Health, Education and Counseling